Dopamine is an important brain chemical that impacts our sense of reward and motivation. It helps shape our feelings of pleasure and satisfaction, playing a crucial role in how we pursue goals and experience enjoyment. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, which is a chemical messenger that transmits signals between nerve cells in the brain and throughout the body. It is synthesized from the amino acid tyrosine and is produced primarily in the brain's substantia nigra and ventral tegmental area. Dopamine's role extends beyond mere signaling. It is crucial for a variety of physiological processes and behaviors. This neurotransmitter is integral to the brain's reward system, influencing feelings of pleasure, motivation, and reinforcement of behavior. Dopamine helps regulate mood, attention, and several cognitive functions by acting on dopamine receptors, which are classified into two major families: D1-like and D2-like receptors. Each type of receptor has distinct effects on brain activity and behavior. The balance of dopamine levels is essential for maintaining normal brain function, and disruptions can lead to various mental and physical health issues. In the nervous system, dopamine plays a multifaceted role, influencing numerous processes. One of its primary functions is in the reward and pleasure system. When an individual engages in an activity that is rewarding or pleasurable, dopamine is released in areas such as the nucleus accumbens and the prefrontal cortex. This release creates a sensation of pleasure and satisfaction, which reinforces the behavior and makes it more likely to be repeated. This reward mechanism is fundamental for learning and motivation, as it helps individuals seek out and repeat rewarding experiences. Dopamine also has a crucial role in motor control. In the brain, dopamine-producing neurons are concentrated in the substantia nigra, a region that communicates with the basal ganglia, which is involved in the regulation of movement. Dopamine helps modulate and fine-tune motor activity, ensuring smooth and coordinated movements. A deficiency in dopamine in this system is associated with Parkinson's disease, a neurodegenerative disorder characterized by tremors, rigidity, and bradykinesia, slowness of movement. This condition arises from the progressive loss of dopamine-producing neurons in the substantia nigra, leading to impaired motor control. Dopamine also has a crucial role in motor control. In the brain, dopamine-producing neurons are concentrated in the substantia nigra, a region that communicates with the basal ganglia, which is involved in the regulation of movement. Dopamine helps modulate and fine-tune motor activity, ensuring smooth and coordinated movements. A deficiency in dopamine in this system is associated with Parkinson's disease, a neurodegenerative disorder characterized by tremors, rigidity, and bradykinesia, slowness of movement. This condition arises from the progressive loss of dopamine-producing neurons in the substantia nigra, leading to impaired motor control. In addition to its roles in reward and motor control, dopamine influences several cognitive functions. It is involved in executive functions such as planning, decision-making, and working memory. Dopamine helps regulate attention and cognitive flexibility, allowing individuals to adapt to new situations and adjust their behavior accordingly. This neurotransmitter modulates synaptic plasticity, which is the ability of synapses to strengthen or weaken over time based on activity, and is crucial for learning and memory formation. Dopamine also impacts emotional regulation. Imbalances in dopamine levels can contribute to mood disorders such as depression and bipolar disorder. In depression, reduced dopamine activity can lead to decreased motivation and pleasure in activities, while in bipolar disorder, fluctuations in dopamine levels can contribute to the extreme mood swings characteristic of the condition. Dopamine's involvement in addiction is well documented. Many addictive substances, such as drugs and alcohol, affect the brain's dopamine system. These substances often lead to a surge in dopamine levels, which creates feelings of euphoria and pleasure. This pleasurable sensation reinforces the behavior, making it more likely that the individual will continue using the substance. The process of addiction involves several changes in the brain's dopamine system. Initially, the use of addictive substances increases dopamine release in the brain's reward pathways. Over time, however, the brain adapts to the constant high levels of dopamine. This adaptation can lead to a decrease in the brain's natural dopamine production and a reduction in the number of dopamine receptors. As a result, the individual may require more of the substance to achieve the same level of pleasure, a phenomenon known as tolerance. The brain's reward system becomes hypersensitive to the addictive substance, while other brain regions responsible for impulse control and decision-making may become less effective. This combination of factors contributes to the compulsive behavior seen in addiction. The individual may prioritize substance use over other activities and may continue using the substance despite adverse consequences. The brain's reward system becomes hypersensitive to the addictive substance, while other brain regions responsible for impulse control and decision-making may become less effective. This combination of factors contributes to the compulsive behavior seen in addiction. The individual may prioritize substance use over other activities and may continue using the substance despite adverse consequences. Addiction also alters the brain's stress response system. Chronic substance use can lead to changes in stress-related neurotransmitters and hormones, exacerbating the challenges of overcoming addiction. The interplay between dopamine and stress can create a cycle where stress increases the desire for the substance, and substance use further impairs the brain's ability to manage stress. Dopamine has a significant impact on learning and memory processes. It is involved in the modulation of synaptic plasticity, which is the ability of synapses to strengthen or weaken in response to activity. This plasticity is essential for encoding and retrieving information. Dopamine influences various aspects of learning, including reinforcement learning, where it helps to encode the value of rewards associated with certain actions. When an individual encounters a rewarding stimulus, dopamine release reinforces the memory of the associated behavior or experience. This reinforcement helps to ensure that the behavior is more likely to be repeated in the future. Dopamine's role in reinforcement learning is crucial for adaptive behavior, as it helps individuals learn from their experiences and make decisions based on past rewards. In addition to reinforcement learning, dopamine affects working memory, which is the ability to hold and manipulate information over short periods. Research has shown that dopamine levels can influence the efficiency of working memory tasks. Higher dopamine levels in certain brain regions, such as the prefrontal cortex, are associated with improved performance on tasks requiring the maintenance and manipulation of information. However, the relationship between dopamine and memory is complex. Both excesses and deficiencies in dopamine levels can impair cognitive functions. For example, excessive dopamine activity can be associated with cognitive disturbances in conditions such as schizophrenia, where symptoms may include impaired memory and cognitive processing. Conversely, insufficient dopamine activity can contribute to difficulties with concentration and memory, as seen in disorders such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Dopamine's impact on memory also involves its interaction with other neurotransmitters in brain regions. For example, dopamine works in conjunction with glutamate, another neurotransmitter involved in synaptic plasticity and learning. The balance between dopamine and glutamate is crucial for maintaining optimal cognitive function. Dopamine is a crucial neurotransmitter involved in regulating mood, motivation, pleasure, and reward. Managing dopamine levels can significantly impact mental health, focus, and overall well-being. Here's an in-depth look at how to naturally increase or decrease dopamine levels. 1. Dietary adjustments. To boost dopamine levels, incorporating specific foods into your diet can be beneficial. Dopamine production relies on the availability of its precursor, tyrosine. Foods rich in tyrosine, such as lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy products, nuts, and soy products, can support dopamine synthesis. Additionally, foods high in antioxidants, including fruits and vegetables, can protect dopamine-producing neurons from oxidative stress. Examples of antioxidant-rich foods include berries, oranges, and leafy greens. On the flip side, certain dietary habits can contribute to reduced dopamine levels. Consuming excessive amounts of refined sugars and saturated fats can disrupt dopamine production and receptor sensitivity. Limiting these ingredients while focusing on a balanced diet with whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats can support optimal dopamine function. 2. Exercise. Physical activity has a profound impact on dopamine levels. Regular exercise, particularly aerobic activities like running, cycling, or swimming, stimulates dopamine production and enhances receptor sensitivity. Exercise not only boosts dopamine but also increases levels of other neurotransmitters such as serotonin and endorphins, contributing to improved mood and overall mental health. Engaging in physical activities that you enjoy and can sustain over time is crucial for maintaining consistent dopamine levels. 3. Sleep hygiene. Adequate sleep is essential for maintaining healthy dopamine levels. Poor sleep or irregular sleep patterns can lead to reduced dopamine receptor sensitivity and impaired dopamine production. Establishing a regular sleep schedule, ensuring 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night, and creating a restful sleep environment are key steps. Avoiding stimulants like caffeine close to bedtime and practicing relaxation techniques before sleep can also improve sleep quality and support dopamine regulation. 4. Stress management. Chronic stress can deplete dopamine levels and disrupt its production. Implementing stress management techniques can help mitigate these effects. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and deep breathing exercises, can lower stress hormones like cortisol and support dopamine balance. Other effective stress management strategies include engaging in hobbies, spending time in nature, and practicing relaxation techniques like progressive muscle relaxation. 5. Sunlight exposure. Exposure to natural sunlight plays a role in regulating dopamine levels. Sunlight stimulates dopamine production by increasing the availability of vitamin D, which is involved in dopamine synthesis. Spending time outdoors during daylight hours, especially in the morning, can enhance dopamine levels. In areas with limited sunlight, light therapy using specialized lamps can also be beneficial. 6. Social interaction. Positive social interactions and maintaining meaningful relationships can influence dopamine levels. Engaging in social activities that bring joy and fulfillment can increase dopamine release. Building and nurturing supportive social networks, participating in community events, and maintaining strong personal connections can all contribute to higher dopamine levels and improved mood. 7. Mindful practices. Incorporating mindful practices into daily life can support dopamine production. Activities such as meditation, yoga, and Tai Chi promote relaxation and reduce stress, which can positively affect dopamine levels. Mindfulness meditation, in particular, has been shown to increase dopamine production and improve overall emotional well-being. 8. Avoiding addictive behaviors. Certain substances and behaviors can disrupt dopamine balance. Overuse of stimulants like caffeine, nicotine, and recreational drugs can lead to imbalances in dopamine levels and receptor sensitivity. Reducing or avoiding these substances, as well as managing any addictive behaviors, can help maintain a healthy dopamine system. Implementing healthy coping strategies and seeking support for addiction issues can further aid in achieving balanced dopamine levels. Dopamine is a pivotal neurotransmitter that deeply influences our emotional and motivational landscapes. It plays an essential role in how we experience pleasure, seek rewards, and stay motivated. By impacting the brain's reward system, dopamine helps to drive behaviors that lead to positive outcomes and reinforces actions that bring satisfaction. Its effects are seen in our daily experiences, from the joy of achieving goals to the drive that fuels our ambitions. However, disturbances in dopamine levels can lead to significant challenges, including mood disorders, addiction, and various neurological conditions such as Parkinson's disease. Understanding dopamine's complex functions and its effects on mental and physical health is crucial for developing effective strategies to address these issues. This knowledge helps us appreciate the intricate balance required for emotional and cognitive well-being and underscores the importance of maintaining a healthy dopamine system to support overall quality of life.